Hello, thanks for joining me for another beer review then. Today we've got a beer from Croatia. I've done a few from this brewery before, the Garden Brewery. They're out of, I think, Zagreb in Croatia, and this their Quebec Session Ipa, then coming in at 4.2% ABV and 15 IBUs. I'm still quite undecided about Kviek yeast. I don't know how many different types of Kviek yeast there are. I think they're different strands. But yeah, had a few beers from this brewery before, as I've already said, and what I've had from them, they've been pretty good. I think the one beer I didn't review, which I really liked, was one of their Imperial Stouts. I was like, you know, I'll just drink it. I'd had a few that night, kind of thing, just crack it open. I thought even then, even though I'd had a few, it's like, wow, this is a really good beer. Wished I'd reviewed it, didn't. It's one of them deals. But yeah, they're quite prevalent here in the UK. I don't know how many actual beers they've certainly been on the market, but you're talking probably 15-20 different beers from this brewery that have been floating around for the last year or two, I reckon. But yeah, made in Croatia, the Garden Brewery. So yeah, refreshing and juicy with a tropical aroma. So what else we got here? It's a hazy session IPA with punchy azacca and simcoe hops, brewed with Ebbegarden Kveik. I'm probably butchering that. Kviek, or whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean. Yeast for a tropical fruit aromas. So pretty much marries up what it says on the can. Anyway, I'm waffling on. Let's crack this beer open. And it's a 330ml can. Oh, there's quite a crack on that. So definitely a tropical whiff from the top of the can there. I'd like to thank my good brother and dear friend Peter, the Clueless Drinker, for really kindly sending me a few beers down in a beer mail a few weeks back now. It just that guy is just one of my best friends. He's you know, he's there. He's a really good mate. Yeah, he sent me a box down with a few bits and bats in, a few beers, a few sweets for my daughter, all that kind of stuff. So do yourself a favour, go and check him out. He will make you laugh. He's a good sense of humour guy. One finger whitehead, frothy, beer in the glass. Yeah, orange, slightly darker orange, shade of orange if you like. Not one of them really pin bright ones, but yeah, hazy as you'd expect. I assume it's got oats in this. So the ingredients: water, hops, yeast, malt, wheat, oats. There you go. No surprise really these days. And you even finding West Coast IPAs have got oats in now, and it's like, don't know if is that traditional or not. I don't know. Anyway, back to this style, which they're saying it's just a session IPA, India session ale, according to Untapped here. So big thick bubbles, gone down a little bit. Let's get aroma. Yeah, some light kind of pineapple jelly in there. Apricots, that kind of thing. A little bit kind of musky almost. It's got simcoe in it, so it's definitely coming through. It's all very light and faint, but it smells nice, what I am getting. It's one of them deals where sometimes they're not massively big on aroma, some of these beers, but they can be quite large on the taste in comparison. So let's get a taste. Cheers. Very clean mouthfeel. So definitely a session IPA for sure. And here we go. That's off that second taste. You're just getting that. There is a certain kind of And I get it more with Kveik yeast in beers, where it's more I pick up more on the residual rather than the actual beer itself. It's the residual on the palate, and it always seems to be fairly similar. It's nothing like a Brewed IPA champagne yeast, but there is for me there's certain things, I don't know what it is, but there's a certain dryness, but not in the same way where it dries your mouth out kind of deal. I'm not a lover of Brewed IPAs and that kind of thing. I think the first two I tried were really good, and then from then on I've never found any two the same. I think the best thing I've had with that yeast in champagne yeast was actually a lager. That's funny enough. It was with Peter when we was in. Was we in Man? I can't know. When we was in Yorkshire. So slight kind of lime zest. A little bit zingy. A little bit, you know. Nice, decent amount of fruit notes, not over the top, but then this residual flavour of the yeast, I believe. Kveik yeast and Simcoe hops. I'm not. It's kind of. I don't know if Kveik ale yeast works with every different hop. There's certain hops that it doesn't work with. They do work with. I don't know. Not being a brewer, not knowing all the details of all of these things. But this is what I am getting out of it. It's very nice, you know. A lot of people don't, as I've said previous, a lot of people don't like session IPAs, which is fine. But every beer has its place kind of thing. If you're just out for a couple of beers, or you know, a couple of thirds or a couple of halves or whatever, you should be able to drive after. That's one of the biggest thing. You know, when pubs used to be open. What are pubs? So it does have its place. Or if you just want a quick beer without going crazy, I'd rather have one of these than an non-alcoholic beer, for instance. But overall, this is fairly pleasant. I mean, it's one of them beers. Would I buy it again? You probably wouldn't be able to buy it again. It's one of them beers that comes across now and again, and then you don't see it for quite a while. But overall, what I'm getting out of this is quite enjoyable. Nice session beer. Nothing crazy. Just easy drinking. That kind of deal. And that's it. So it's another beer from the Garden Brewery in Croatia, the Kviek Session IPA at 4.2% ABV. That was Zagreb, I believe. So yeah, so really quite a nice little beer there. Quite enjoyed that. So thank you very much, Peter. I really do appreciate it, the box you sent, and there'll be probably a few more beers from that box coming up fairly soon. So anyway, thanks for watching. Really do appreciate it. You all keep safe out there as usual. Please subscribe, thumbs up, good stuff, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.